Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing something a little different today. I love animals. I love all types of animals. And over the past couple of years, I have gotten a very strong attachment and fascination with rats because I have 3 rats right now. My love of rats started about 3 years ago when I adopted my first rat, Luna. And 6 months later, I adopted another rat for her. And she's a strong old lady, Luna. She's 2.5. She just had a surgery to get a tumor removed, and she's thriving. And rats are so much misunderstood, and they're such cute little fluff balls. And I understand why some people might not like them because of their reputation, like with the Black Plague or rats that lives on the street and they look a little roughed up and the diseases they carry. Like, I get that, but there's so much more to rats than that, and they really need to be looked at for that and seen how they really are. So today I'm just gonna do a video where I do a tier list of different domesticated rats, of what I think of their appearance, basically mostly just their appearance, like if I would want them or not. I was inspired by another YouTuber. I think you pronounce her name Etymology or something like that. She's a rat YouTuber. I'll put her channel in the description down below. But without further ado, let's start the tier list making. Now, for the Russian Pearl, I really like how it has Dumbo ears and there's a little bit of white around the whiskers, and how they have little pink nose and black eyes. But personally, I think their coat is a little lackluster. Like, I like rats with more variety, more bold colors. But I just got a rat right now who I love a lot. His name is Rupert, and he kind of looks like this, but he has like a beige hooded coat, more or less. So I will show you my rats throughout this video when we get onto the topic of the different breeds there are and the different types there are. But I like this type of rat, but it's not my top tier level. But if I had the opportunity to get this rat, I would, because I love all rats. But this wouldn't be my first go-to one, but I would still get it if I had the chance. As for the silver fawn rat, I actually really like this one, looking back, because he or she is big and chonky, and I always love big and chonky boys. And even though he only has like one shade of color, I like how furry he looks. He looks like a big old squishy boy, and for that reason I wish I rated it higher than I did, because I do actually like this breed now that I'm looking at it more closely, or looking at it again, I should say. But he's really cute. I wish I would have put it higher. I definitely would get this kind of rat if I had the chance to. For the British Blue, I was very torn on where to put this breed or this variant, or this variety, because I almost put it in I want it now, because even though the British Blue is a solid color, I adore the color of the navy blue-esque rats, because that's literally my favorite color. But I think I decided to put it down to I like it, because it's just one basic color, one full body color, and they don't really have any spots or anything like that, and they don't appear to have Dumbo ears, and I love Dumbo rats because I just think Dumbo ears makes them like 10 million times cuter, even though all rats are cute and all rats are lovely. But for that reason, I've just put it in. I like it, but I wouldn't give up the chance to have this rat if I could. For the powder blue, I put it in the I want it now, the ultimate top tier category, is because like I was saying with the British blue, I adore this color on rats. Like, they just look so cute with this color, and any color really, but especially this for me. And he's also a very fluffy boy. He looks like he has longer hair, and he literally just looks like he's made out of cotton swabs, basically, because he looks that fluffy, or he looks like cotton candy, and I just want to hold him in my arms. And he has Dumbo ears. I want a powdered blue rat so bad. Don't at me. Ugh. Guys, if any of you guys have rats, like, leave your stories of your rats in the comments, or if there's any of these breeds that I mentioned, or types that I mentioned that you like or you don't like, and the reasons why. Just really anything. Let me know down in the comments. But I would give anything to have this type of rat because they are so cute. For the Quicksilver rat, I like the coat, I like the eyes, I like the tail, I love tails. Like, I don't know, just rat tails are so quirky and they are really good for their health. Like, they help with a whole bunch of things like ventilating their like sweat, and if they're really hot, that helps them, and it helps them with their balance and a whole bunch of different things. So it's very important for them to have tails, which is why later on down the line you'll see why I don't like tailless rats, because to me it's kind of like declawing a cat. It's really mean. Like, if you don't like rat tails, don't get a rat. That's just how I feel. But for the Quicksilver, I feel like they're meh. Not that they're bad. They're not bad at all. It's just, they're kind of like the basic one-tone, kind of a neutral color, and I don't know. I like something more poppy, more standout-ish. So that's why I put them where I do when you see. But I still like them. Like, I feel like almost any of these rats no matter where I put them in the chart, I would consider getting them, no matter where they are. So, like, I do not have any biases towards any rats, except for, like, tailless and hairless rats, and I'll get onto that more later. But, yeah, this is a good rat, though. They're all good boys and girls. We love them. One more thing about the Quicksilver. I forgot to mention this in my previous clip. If I ever did get a Quicksilver rat, I would probably name it Pietro, after Quicksilver, the character from WandaVision, like the from WandaVision, but also from the MCU, and he's a mutant, so I think he's in the X-Men, so he's just a very cool character, and I think that name would really bring some life into the Quicksilver rat. For the Burmese rat, I like that it has Dumbo ears, and their whiskers are like all floppy, which I think is really cute, and they have a face that looks like it's a little smushed, like boxers and pugs, which also is really cute, and it looks like he has very fluffy fur as well, and I like that. But I'm a little concerned about, maybe it's just the picture, but I'm a little concerned about the breeding of this type of rat, because, like I said, his face is a little smushy, so that could be something with breeding, which could be bad, because pugs and bulldogs are not really healthy dogs because of those issues with the flat faces. It affects their breathing, it affects their eating, but I put this one at a higher rating because I still think they are very cute. For the topaz rat, I like this one a little bit more in its variety because even though it is basically one color, it has different shades of that color along its fur, so I really like that. And I think he just looks like a cute boy, so I rated him based on that. For this rat, I have no idea how to pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I don't even know if it's in English or what, but that doesn't matter. I don't know how to say this because dyslexic brain, not great. But I really like this rat, honestly, because now that I'm looking back at these rats in the post-production editing process, where I actually discuss my feelings about all of these rats based off of my ratings and give you more like backstory to that, I actually really like this guy because even though yes, he is kind of like one tone, like one shade, he has one color, I should say, he has different shades in his fur, and I think that's really cute, especially like the little like black spot on his head, or like the dark brown on his head. And they also have Dumbo ears as well, so these guys are really cool. I would like to have one of these actually, so I wish I ranked it higher, but you'll see what I mean. As far as this rat, my feelings are pretty much the same. I don't know how to say the name of this rat, so I apologize in advance, but I like how whiskery his hair looks, like how fine it is, and also the different shades of gray, and also that he's a Dumbo, and he has I like the rats with darker eyes because it feels like you're staring into their soul, and my own nerdy reasons, like, blackness shows the soul, and it's like, makes you question things, and it's like, black kind of just like shows that you've been through shit. Not that I'm saying like I want the rats to be through shit, but like, you know how people are like, oh, my soul is black because I'm so edgy, like that kind of thing. I like that. That was a very long-winded explanation, but yes, I like this rat a lot. Even though he's kind of just a normal looking rat, I still love him. For these fawn rats, I was definitely very conflicted on where to put them. I like them because of how big and chonky they are, and how they have different patches of color, and how they have different shades of color. But the red eyes, I don't really like red eye rats. I know that's a controversial opinion, but they just kind of like freak me out a little bit. But not like, I'm not scared of them, they kind of freak me out, to be honest. Just like with photos of cats, like when you take photos of their eyes, like it comes out all weird in cameras. I don't know, it's something so silly, but I don't know, it's just how I feel. So, but I would still definitely get them. Like you could see based off of where I placed them, I was very torn, which I still am. So I stand by my rating here. So, for the Russian blue Dalmatian rat, my mind was instantly made up on this guy. They look so cute. They're two different colors, like the black and white, and maybe some of them are more of a navy blue coloring, like some of the other Russian blues. But I just love this rat because of how unique their pattern is, and they just seem like really cute rats. And I'm a little biased because I have fancy rats. All of my rats are fancy rats, I believe. But I just love this guy, even though he has normal ears. I don't know. It's just something about how well, not how colorful, but how much variety there is to his coat. Like, I especially love rats that have like randomized markings, which is probably why I like fancy rats so much. But yeah, that's just how I feel about this one guy. But would definitely love to have one of these, as you'll see based off of my rating. For the mink Harley Dumbo, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm pretty sure I got this spelling of this right, because it was a weird breed that I found. But I adore this little guy. I don't know if these rats stay this small, but he's a Dumbo, and he's a little fluff ball and has such a cute little tail that's black. And those tail colors, in my experience, aren't that common because most of them are just like a tannish color. But I adore this little guy, as you'll see with my rating. For the Seal Point Himalayan Dumbo rat, I really like this guy because he has what appears to be black eyes. He has a cute little black spotting on his face and nose, and then the rest of his body's a solid color. If the rest of his body wasn't like if his whole body was just completely white, he probably would have gotten a little bit of a lower rating. But the Dumbo ears definitely help. Like I said, I have no issues with any rats. Like, most rats I would probably get, but I have some preferences. But it's really, at the end of the day, it's all down to a rat's personality. Like, if it's a good rat and it's a loving rat, I will take care of it no matter what it looks like, or what their fur looks like, what type of rat they are, you know? Like, I just love rats, but I'm doing this video merely on a preferences standpoint. Nothing else more than that, really. For the striped black roan rat, I have a little bit of mixed feelings about this rat. I don't know why. I think it's mainly because the fur looks very thin and wiry as opposed to like smooth and fluffy. I like his markings. I like the ears. I like everything, but something about the hair is just like not a vibe. To me, this rat kind of looks like a hedgehog in a way because of his fur, and I don't know why, but like, I kind of view it like, if a rat looks like a hedgehog, I should just get a hedgehog rather than getting a rat that looks like one, if that makes sense, because I want a hedgehog, but would I get a rat in place of a hedgehog that looks like a hedgehog? I mean, yeah, maybe. Like, I wouldn't give up the chance to have this rat, but something about it isn't sitting right with me, and I don't know what it is. But no hate to this rat breed. If you have this type of rat, like, DM me some pictures of your rats, because like, I would love to see them. I have nothing against this rat. This rat is a really pretty breed. I just don't know how I feel about it. For the Essex rat, I really like this rat because of the white triangle on his head. So that gives a unique marking, so that automatically ups that rat for me. But I also like how he has a couple different shades of color in him, but that also just could be from the lighting of this picture. But I still really like him. So you see that based on my rating. For Dumbos, I love Dumbos. Just any type of Dumbo automatically win for me. The long hair rat, I absolutely adore this rat because it looks like a little fluff ball. I love rats that are very fluffy. I like soft things. I like that it has Dumbo, and this guy just looks like a little baby, and I want him like right now. Like, perfection. For the Rex Dumbo, I love this boy because of how soft he looks and how he literally looks like a stuffed animal. He doesn't look like a real rat. Like, he's adorable. Like, the fur, the markings on his face, like everything. I love him a lot. For the Russian Blue Berkshire Rex Dumbo, this rat is my dream rat because I absolutely adore the color. I love the fact that he's a Dumbo and they have little spots on their stomach. I have a weak point for rats with markings on their belly, because my first rat I've ever had, Luna, who's still kicking, she has a little black dot on her stomach, so I am just a sucker for those kinds of rats. So Russian Blue Berkshire Rex Dumbo, dream rat right there. For the Bristol Coat Rat, I like him because he has very fluffy fur, and I like his color, but apart from his fur, like his coat, he is a pretty standard rat, so that kind of leads me somewhere in the middle with him, but he's still a very good looking and pretty rat, and I would love to have him as well. But that's just my personal feelings on him. But all rats are amazing. I love all rats. I'm not biased or prejudiced towards any rats. These are just my random personal opinions. For the blue masked Dumbo, same with like the Siamese Dumbo and the Himalayan Dumbo. I really like how he has like this little blue face mask on him, basically. And this guy has Dumbo ears, which automatically makes him extra in my book. And he's such a big chunky boy. Like, I want this rat, like, right now. Like, someone give me this rat. He's just so cute. Like, I think I would name him, like, Theodore or something. Because he's so precious. I love him. For a a tailless rat, I would not get it because that is very unethical. To me, it's like the same as declawing a cat. Like, it's not cool in my book. Like, they need that to help with maintain temperature, help them to maintain their stability. It's just very healthy for them to have a tail. And if you don't want a rat to have a tail, then just don't get a rat, period. For the dwarf rat, I would want to get it because it's so tiny. And I love mice and I love hamsters, and this guy looks to be not as small as mice, but maybe around the hamster size. And I would have to do some more research of the breeding of these animals to see if getting them in dwarf sizes is like a hindrance to their health. But just going based off of appearance, love it. Very, very good rat. For the chocolate rat, it is a good rat. very basic, but not in a bad way. Like, I like it. There's really not much to say, in my opinion, about it. He's a good rat. We love him. We stan him. And then for the black self Dumbo rat, I would prefer to get a black Dumbo over a standard Dumbo because I think the Dumbo ears just make them look cuter. But I would still get either. It doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. For the husky rat, I would get these because I love their markings, and it doesn't look too much like a husky dog to put me off of it, because like I explained before in my other videos, if a rat, like if one animal looks like another animal, I'd rather just get the original animal that it looks like rather than just like something that's mimicking it, because it's like, why get something that's mimicking it when you can get the actual real thing? But these husky rats, they're very adorable. We love them. Like I've mentioned in my previous videos, for a pink-eyed rat, I would prefer to not get one because their eyes freak me out a little bit. Same with cat's eyes in photos. I'm very sensitive when it comes to the way things look or the way things sound or the way things feel. So it's nothing personal against the pink-eyed rat. I'm sure they're all good boys. They just freak me out a little bit. I'm a little scared of them. But I know they're probably good boys. I just would prefer to get a different kind if I could. The brown rat. We love him. He's very basic and he looks like wild rats, which could be dissuading to some people. I don't necessarily think so for me. I just think this rat doesn't stand out a lot. Like, I think I would go for something else as opposed to a brown rat. Not that there's anything wrong with him. Like, if a brown rat needed a home, I would take him in. But he's not a rat I would overly try to seek out. I have some ethical issues about hairless rats. They could get hurt more easily. They don't have fur to protect their skin from infections or from the heat or from the cold. Like, and the breeding of these types of rats can be a little unethical, and they could get skin cancer and stuff like that. And they're just, hairless animals in general are just pretty unhealthy, and I disagree with the breeding of them. So for that reason, I wouldn't get a Sphinx. But if for some reason I had to like rescue a Sphinx rat from a bad situation, I would probably be more inclined to like want to get a Dumbo. But either way, if it was an emergency situation, I would still adopt either the normal Sphinx or the Dumbo Sphinx. And for the standard rat, it's a standard rat, so it's alright. Like, this guy looks like a little bit like a chipmunk and also a tiny squirrel, so I'm kind of really confused about this rat. So it's like, it's okay, but I still love him. The beige hooded Dumbo rat, absolutely adorable, so cute. I have a beige hooded rat that's a fancy rat right now, but he's not a Dumbo. He's very feisty, he bites me all the time, but I still love him. For the normal Himalayan rat, I like them. I like that they have a little bit of like black marking around their nose and that they have black eyes. But where this guy stands out as opposed to the seal point Himalayan Dumbo, this guy isn't a Dumbo, so his ears are straight. I right now I currently have 3 rats. I've had 4 and none of them are Dumbos. So I don't mind rats having normal ears. I just think Dumbo ears look cuter. But because this guy has normal ears and is this almost completely solid color, he's a little bit lower on my scale. But I would get this type of rat like over like a white rat with like pink eyes or something like that, because that's just how I feel. Because pink eyes freak me out a little bit, like I don't know why, they just kind of do. But this guy's still really cute, you know. For the Dumbo Sphinx rat, I don't think I would get this guy because I have some ethical issues about hairless rats. They could get hurt more easily. They don't have fur to protect their skin from infections or from the heat or from the cold, like, and the breeding of these types of rats can be a little unethical, and they could get skin cancer and stuff like that, and they're just, hairless animals in general are just pretty unhealthy, and I disagree with the breeding of them. So for that reason, I wouldn't get a Sphinx. But if I had to, if for some reason I had to like rescue a Sphinx rat from a bad situation, I would probably be more inclined to like want to get a Dumbo. But either way, if it was an emergency situation, I would still adopt either the normal Sphinx or the Dumbo Sphinx. But if I was just going and decided to, like, say I was going to like a animal shelter or a pet store and I randomly decided that I wanted to get a Sphinx, I would go for a Dumbo Sphinx rather than a normal one, because the Dumbo ears help get me over the skin, the furless aspect. I also partly wouldn't get Sphinxes as well because I have like a texture issue where I am very, very sensitive to textures, and I think just the feeling of having a pet that has no fur and just touching its skin, like, that creeps me out. Like, because I don't even like touching other people sometimes because it's just weird when skin makes contact with skin. It's like, ugh, it's icky. So yeah. The Seal Point Siamese Dumbo rat, gorgeous rat, gorgeous. I love all the different types of different shades on him, and how he has like a little black, almost like he's wearing a black face mask in a sense, and then his back half of him and his tail are also black, which is also really adorable. And he is a white rat, but he has some like tan mixed in, and he has Dumbo ears. So this rat, just looking at pictures, I'm like falling in love with this type of rat. So I definitely would go for one of these if I had the chance. I find the Silvermane rat to be very, very interesting. I adore the markings and how interesting they are, like how he has black on his nose, around his eyes, on his head, and probably underneath him and on his tail, but I don't know. And he also has Dumbo ears. This breed really intrigues me. I really like the markings. He reminds me a little bit of a raccoon, which is cute. So yeah, I definitely like this one. As for fancy rats, I am very biased when it comes to this, because all of my rats I've ever had are fancy rats, and I'm obsessed with their markings and their personalities. Like Luna, she's my fancy rat. She's the oldest rat I have. She's the first rat I got. She's 2.5 years old, going on 3 years old. I had another fancy rat, Lily, who lived with Luna until she passed away back in May, and then I got two other fancies a couple weeks ago, and I'll put pictures of them up. The tan and orange one's name is Rupert, Rue for short, and then the other one, the black and white one, is named Oscar. They're both boys. They're not related, I don't believe, but I'm excited because it's the first time I'm having male rats, so I'm excited. They are still a bit afraid of me, but I'm working every day to get them to trust me. For the black hooded rat, I put this somewhere in the middle because I didn't exactly know what it means, because like my fancy rats, well, two of my fancy rats could be considered black hooded rats, but they're also fancy rats. So I rated the fancy breed higher than the black hooded rat based off of the hooded rat. They're only talking about the face. When I look at a rat, I'm looking at the full body. So that's why I put it lower. For the blaze rat, I like it. It seems a little basic, but I'm also a sucker for tuxedo cats. I've had two tuxedo cats, so I like that this markings are like that, and I like that the different colors and different patterns add some more intrigue to these rats. So they're cool. They're alright. The black-eyed Siamese rat, adorable, precious little bean. I would definitely get him. He's adorable. For the American caped blue rat, we're going off of similar patterns here. I like this rat a little bit more because of the blue coloring, but I still like this guy a lot. Rex rats look like they're very close in correlation to Dumbos, and this picture of the Rex I adore. So cute. Like, I would love to get this little guy. For the cinnamon pearl, I put him in the middle because he's just a very standard rat. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like I like more rats that are more unique. Black rats, same with the brown, the white, the solid colors besides the powder blue, the Russian blue, and those. These rats are kind of just like basic. They're very common in the breeding world, so you see these all the time. I would rather go for a rat that you don't see as much, but I definitely want to own a black rat one day. I just wouldn't go for it like immediately, if that makes sense. I don't mind white rats. I like them. I prefer them to not have pink eyes because, like I've said in some of my other clips, those eyes just freak me out, but he's a white rat. He's good. He's the standard. He's pretty basic, but we still love him. He's cool. Blue rat, same as the Russian blues and the powder blues. I love any rats with blues like this because I think they look so good, and blue is my favorite color, so I'm very biased, but they are adorable and I love them.